It is the day before Thanksgiving. There's no school today, so the kiddo is out there on the other side of a closed door watching YouTube. And we're all kind of sick, so you might hear him coughing. It's just that post-nasal drip that won't leave your throat alone. So that's fun. As also, we were going to go to a Friendsgiving tomorrow, but they're sick too. So I have some new doll parts to show you. Of course, the last video that I uploaded and published was the box opening video of stuff from Kate's Creations. Thanks again so much, Kate. So I've been playing with some of the dolls from there. Some of them to use, I will need to do some drastic work to make bodies to match. Like I would love to get the... Oh, it just fell off. Oh, I think there had been a grid tag in there. I would love to get the Hasbro Fashions by Me and the Barbie and the Rockers 2nd edition Dee Dee heads onto bodies. I have no bodies that match them. I have plenty of bodies that I could paint to match. I just have not really been in the airbrushing mood, so I did not run down there and do that, although I could. So the only sewing I've done since last week was... So when I did that video a week or so ago with all the just random sewing I'd done, one of the dresses was an MSD size and it had 2 different but coordinating patchwork prints on them. And someone contacted me and said, I hope this isn't out of line, but you said that you're going to put it up for sale. Could I go ahead and buy it now? And I said, okay, sure. And I shipped it off. And then the next day I got another email saying, I hope this isn't out of line, but you said you're going to put that up for sale. Could I have it now? And it's like, I would love to sell it to you now, but I've already sold it. I can use a different vintage tiny patchwork print to make a similar dress for you. And I did, and that's shipped off. So that's the only sewing I've done is that one replacement dress. So I don't have sewing to show, but like I said, I have pieces cut out that I was going to sew before making the video today, but the day was getting away from me. I mean, I haven't just been sitting around doing nothing. I've been organized. We went to housewarming on Saturday. We're there for hours way past our bedtime, but that was fine. So we did that for a few hours, and then on Sunday I recorded the box opening, and then, was it Sunday night or Friday night? One of the nights when normally would be my sewing time, I went through this file cabinet here. Has a lot of my patterns in it, and I finally admitted that I had a lot of patterns that the size range that they are size ranges that I'm not going to fit into. Some of them I probably never would have fit into, but I thrifted them, and the illustrations or styles were just so cute, but they were like other things I had, so either I could adapt other patterns to be with them, or I could, things that were close, I could figure out how to grade it up. That's where you take a pattern that's a little bit too small, a little bit too large, and change it to be your size. But basically I pulled out 100 patterns that I know I'm never going to use, and I spent time photographing those to get ready for auctions, but I haven't actually done anything with them. So that's just letting you know the things I did that weren't doll related, and you know, general organizing and staring at that cloth I showed you last week, the blue wool plaid that I thrifted that I shouldn't have. I was going to make a specific pattern from it, but there wasn't quite enough, so I spent a lot of time trying to get the pattern pieces to fit, and so that's also where some of my time went that wasn't doll stuff. But I did have stuff that I cut out today. It's all laying on the desk ready to sew, but I didn't sew it because I needed to make the video to let you know that I'm not making it. Because one of the doll combinations that I did was the doll that Kate's Creations sent was missing an arm. But other than that, it is a Hong Kong clone type doll that, very distinct doll, but I didn't recognize her. Someone on Instagram, I'm sorry I've forgotten your screen name, did identify her as a Tsum Tsum Toy Sandy. Not a Totsy Toy Sandy. This is S-A-N-D-Y. Totsy Sandy is S-A-N-D-I, which... So I was able to look up information about this doll. This doll has, like Totsy Toy Sandy, Tsum Tsum Sandy has also used a range of head sculpts. But since this body was missing an arm, and the arm was promised to be sent to me if it could be found, but it was looking at figuring out what was rattling around inside the body, that was the anchor peg for the arm. So the rest of the arm was found. I'm not sure I could get it reattached. But I decided anyway I would go ahead and put this head on a different body. But the only body I had that came anywhere near matching it in skin tone was a Blythe body. Which, a small head and a Blythe body that's not a Alika head, it can be weird, but I don't know. She has, this head has a very prominent chin like Blythe. However, the result is this really long neck. But I'm not sure if it's awkward or awkwardly adorable. Now, one of the things I have cut out to sew is a turtleneck sweater for this doll, because if anybody can wear a turtleneck, it would be a doll like this. So we'll see where I go with this. I may not do anything with her. I might make it think, oh, haha, that's funny, then take the doll apart and put her, there's lint in her hair, put her aside until I find a body that actually works with this head. Seriously. Or, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with her, but here's how she is now. And I'm hoping to get the turtleneck made for her. That will cover up that much. Eventually. We'll see. Maybe my next video. And then, okay, this is not a doll who I've given a body yet, but this is one of the heads she sent Shillman. With this hairstyle, I'm pretty sure it's Shillman Young and Lovely. When she had floofier, more elaborate hairstyles, it probably would have been from a Shillman Lindsay doll. Lindsay is what they called their higher-end fancy dolls, even though, again, as with the Totsy Toys and the Sum Sum Sandys, they didn't always use the same head sculpt. But, so this I thought was interesting because it's the same head sculpt she has. This is a doll I thrifted, I don't know, a year or two ago? Last year, I think. Which, since it's almost the end of 2018, that 2017 becomes 2 years ago very soon. So I painted her eyes to be side glance. I just painted over the originals because pretty much these two have the not only the same head sculpt but the exact same paint, just with different colors. So I just thought it was interesting to compare them. Like I said, this is a custom painted body, so I can do custom painted bodies for these gals. I just have to get around to it. Another doll that she sent. I just rebraided her hair and trimmed it a bit and put her in a dress. Was this gal, the Kid Core doll, which was a Walmart brand from ages ago. Her eyes, sorry about the kiddos coughing, her eyes are a little unevenly painted, and like I've said, Tiffy has done a really cute repaint of one of these. So I don't know if I can do cute, but I will do something in terms of repainting her. Eventually, whenever I'm back into doll painting. It was right, like I said, right now, I have barely been doing doll things. I say as I show you half a dozen dolls that I've done since Monday, but still, for me, that's not a lot of doll things. So the last head that Kate sent that I decided to find a body for was this gal who I put on this Project MC Squared body. And just her eye paint, pink with the blue lashes, is fantastic. And her hair, which is still just perfectly preserved shape, is wonderful. And this vinyl, I don't know if you can tell in videos or the picture that I posted of her, the vinyl is almost translucent. I'm really tempted to put a pearl coat over her lipstick just to increase the translucent iridescence of her appearance overall. And I had another doll, actually, I thrifted with this head sculpt last year, the year before, maybe even early this year, I don't remember. It's the same head sculpt in a darker skin tone, and her eyes were like this bizarre mix of teal and orange, and her eyebrows were teal, and I rerouted her with orange hair. But that doll lives with Flockcentric now, so I can't show her to you. The other thing I did with this, one of my problems with the Project MC Squared body, well, my main problem is their little skinny thighs, but that can be covered up. My other problem is they have awkward feet. The flat feet, it's easier to find shoes to fit, but their high-heeled feet are the same feet that Bratzilla's had. So there's this really extremely high arch that's still wider, and they don't fit very well at all with Monster High shoes. So I was trying to find a pair of shoes that would fit her and nothing worked, so I finally just gave up and hacked a bunch of her feet off. It's not pretty, I know, not fun to think about, but I could get these 1990s Skipper / Mary-Kate and Ashley shoes on her pretty well. And other shoes fit on the nubs fairly well, so I will probably leave her in the nubs for a while before trying to actually come up with, you know, the optimum solution would be to cut them off at the ankle and actually put feet on with a hinge pin so she can have articulated ankles. But for an I'm tired and just want this doll to have shoes solution that I came up with last night, I'm actually fairly happy with those. And also this body came to me without hands, so these are actually hands from a Liv doll that I think it's the Liv doll that I cut up to make knees for that Rika headed curvy body that I did. Was that last year or was that this year? I don't know, like I said, it's nearly the end of the year, I'm a little bit sick, I'm not thinking clear. So there she is. And then there's this gal, made by Reliable Toys of Canada, made in Canada. Like I said, I don't think I've ever had a toy made in Canada before. She's wearing a dress that Tiffy made. This is for SD size dolls. So this torso on this vintage type torso is almost SD size, super dollfy size. And she's wearing shoes that I got through Kemper that are roughly MSD size. They fit her pretty well throughout the shoe, but the straps aren't quite enough to go around her ankles. If I take pictures of her, I will hide the straps. Because I know you can take the straps out, but I think it looks like they'd be a bit of a pain to work through that loop. So I'm not sure if this was her original haircut or if somebody got frustrated. I'm guessing it probably was her original haircut because it's like almost too evenly done for someone who just got frustrated and cut the hair off because there's no bald spots. But apparently what Reliable company, toy company, Reliable Doll Company of Canada, the reason she is this dark-skinned loveliness is because they did a lot of First Nations dolls, which I'm sure were actually really culturally insensitive. I couldn't find much information about them. They were generally called Hiawatha dolls, which leads me to support that they weren't terribly accurate hypothesis. So this hair may have been braided at some point, or maybe tied up in bundles. And then it just cut short and back so they wouldn't be super thick. But this is how she is when she's my doll in cute dresses. And I don't know if I want to reroute her or not. Her hair is in really good shape for what it is, but it is a really thick fiber. And, well, I guess she's big enough she could wear a wig. I don't know, at this point I'm babbling because I have nothing else to talk about in this video, and I have a feeling it's only about 12 minutes long, I'm guessing, if that much. But, I'll find out when I edit in a few minutes, so thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Happy random November Thursday if you don't. And I'll see you next week. Maybe with more stuff to talk about. Maybe I'll just have more to talk about why I don't have more to talk about. Hopefully I won't be so sick that I'm just off rambling. Even more than I'm rambling. I'm gonna go now. Bye.